Keep it moving, won't stop, rhythm overflowing. Don't stop, gotta get it going. Keep it moving, won't stop, rhythm overflowing. Don't stop.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Gyro, I'm your host here. The short of it is, I wish I didn't need a VPN to enjoy Final Fantasy XIV, but it looks like I personally do. Notice how I say enjoy rather than play, because I can play without VPN, but it's not enjoyable at all lately. In my opinion, you need VPN to play Final Fantasy XIV without horrible lag, stuttering, freezes and other fun-killing stuff, unless you live in North America, Japan or Western Europe. With that being said, I'm not claiming to be an expert on these networking things and only share my own findings, leaving it up to you to take my advice and consider a VPN too, perhaps, unless you already have it. Quick retrospective for those who are very new here to my channel. Being an Australian player from Sydney who joined the ranks of Final Fantasy XIV Sprouts a few weeks ago, I am really enjoying the game, but I noticed issues with game performance, where it all began with me noticing other players sliding across the floors or like spinning wheels or their feet, periodically kind of jumping or teleporting ahead after a short pause. And then, relatively recently, it became completely unbearable. So that situation I could still play, but now I barely can, with the game client disconnecting, completely ridiculous and laughable levels of lag that we've already discussed in my previous videos, and so on. All of that I've shared with you in the video where I said that basically this is my only, like, one issue I'm having with Final Fantasy XIV. Because otherwise, yeah, there are things to love and not so much, but overall the game is nothing short but being amazing. So that is the whole scene setting for you, done and out of the way. So I thought today I'll just quickly share my most recent experience since I've purchased and tried a VPN client. And for those of you particularly good at not paying attention to what's on the screen, what the video started with, let me repeat myself. This is not a paid promotion. Nobody pays me to recommend a VPN to you, alright? Good. So I've researched Reddit and numerous other sources, including just talking to you guys and girls in the comments to my videos and on Twitter about it, and a lot of people were saying, well mate, you basically need a VPN. It was not my words. People who are probably better informed told me that. My understanding from all the research that I've done is that VPN offers a more straight line to a game server, so to speak, rather than how typically my internet service provider might bounce my signal and data packets around before it reaches the server and back to my machine. Please correct me, experts, if I'm wrong here, but this is the, in a nutshell of it, how I understand the purpose of a VPN. I've had VPN client before, called VPN Tunnel, from a Swedish company. It's nothing special, but it was cheap when I signed up for it before, and I kind of kept it for a few years just for, you know, here and there, users here and there. I tried connecting with VPN Tunnel to North American and Japanese servers for Final Fantasy XIV, but the game performance remained pretty horrible. The game was sluggish rather than unpredictable. So connection was stable, but everything took ages kind of to load. That's at least the feeling that I got from literally just a minute worth of testing. It was clear that it's not good. It was clear that it's not acceptable for me. So I've done further research, as one would do, and there are a bunch of VPN companies front and center that clearly invest a lot into marketing and resellers and affiliate marketing, with things like NordVPN, CyberGhost, ExpressVPN, and a metric ton of others that I've never even heard about, like popping up immediately as soon as you just try Googling for it. So which one to choose? Well, look, like I said, I'm not recommending to you, I'm not trying to prove to you that what I used is best. But, you know, I chose mine for one reason and one reason only, is because it was cheap. It was really cheap, while being among the list of those high and kind of well-known companies that at least one of the fairly popular content creators, Upper Echelon Gaming, that I've been following for years and years, has been sponsoring and promoting, so he gets paid for this, but obviously the company is solid enough to, you know, to receive such kind of high praise. And I researched, I saw that they have various accolades from different people. So I thought, okay, well, they offer 30-day money guarantee, so why not? Let's try. And I have to honestly tell you, here is where just personal impression comes in. While server selection for Japanese Final Fantasy XIV servers wasn't intuitive, and I'll explain what it means, I do think, and fingers still crossed here, that it definitely made a difference for me. So what do I mean by not intuitive in terms of Japanese server selection? Well, as a user, you would think that once you have a VPN client, connecting to a Japanese VPN server, say in Tokyo, would give you the best performance on Japanese servers, right? That would be intuitive. Well, it's actually wrong, as the game remained in this situation for me still very sluggish, stuttering, slow to connect, and so on and so forth. I was so frustrated, I can't even start telling you, as I started thinking that I just wasted the cost of 24 months, and now I need to start surely not a very clear process of refunds. I don't know, maybe their refunds are just like snap your fingers and you get your money back. It never happens that way in my experience, so it was unpleasant. Then I connected to a North American Los Angeles server, and firstly, my original character on Siren server suddenly became playable. I didn't particularly measure ping to server or speed otherwise, like I just don't know how. I don't know how to do it. But I am only trusting these days the gameplay. I don't trust the numbers anymore somewhere. I only trust how the character feels in the game. And it was playable again. And even being connected to that North American Los Angeles server, I switched data center to Japanese and went back to Ramu, to my most recent character on Ramu server, and it was also very playable. It did get a little slower over the course of the day, the Los Angeles server. I've noticed that. Maybe because the VPN server itself was particularly popular, like I'm not sure. But what I've done is I've switched to San Francisco server and things were back to good for me there. And still, like I'm still at the moment of recording of this video, I'm still cool with that. So I've been testing this for now, what, second day in a row. I know I need to wait and see it for a bit longer, hence my earlier remark about fingers still being crossed. But it seems like at least I can play and enjoy the game without being disconnected right in the middle of, say, dungeon, while trying to tank it. There are not that many things that are more frustrating than that. I'm sure a lot of you would agree. I haven't considered any free VPN options, as I can honestly afford extra $3 to $5 on top of my potential Final Fantasy XIV subscription price per month to have a solid VPN, commercial VPN with a 24-hour technical support and a whole bunch of other features. But I do get and respect that some people have to put extra thought into this investment, and maybe for them some further research of a free option of a VPN would be more suitable. I don't know and never pretended to have conducted an all-inclusive, all-encompassing analysis of different VPN options on the market there. Not my thing at all. Just sharing, once again, my impressions from this commercial one. I'll wrap this up by reiterating my personal finding and message to fellow WoW refugees possibly, or whoever else would like to take it for what it is, an unpretentious opinion. And maybe an advice to those who don't know any better. Get yourself a VPN unless you're in Japan, America or Europe. Do your own research, of course, on the price and features that work for you, but overall, I do believe that it's not a myth, so to speak, that VPN actually helps you with a more stable connection to Final Fantasy XIV servers. Alright, now is your turn to let me know what you think and what your experience with VPN services in gaming, primarily in gaming, has been. What have you tried? What have you used? What works for you? Did you have to use a VPN for Final Fantasy XIV specifically, or maybe some other game? And did your in-game quality of life improve? Or maybe not so much. Let me know. Let's have a chat as we always do. And I'll be speaking with you in a few days, as always, because the new League of Path of Exile is starting. Heaps of new fun for me to have with my new character in Final Fantasy XIV, now that I can play and enjoy it. So that's more content, more exploration is coming to you, and I have a mega experience buff of Road to 70, which means that I basically caught up to my main character before I knew it. So I'm practically almost at the same level by now, and that's been like 2 days of intermittent playing, like on and off, on and off. So I'm quite excited. If you're not subscribed yet, but you like my content or think that this is something up your alley, please don't be shy, throw me a like, subscribe to the channel. More videos are coming to you regularly, every 2, 3, sometimes 4 days in between. And yes, we will be alternating between Path of Exile and Final Fantasy XIV. Thanks for tuning in today. I'll see you later and say bye for now.